Hey guys, we are going to be underway here in a minute. I'm trying to clean up a few things. We had to deal with some unpaid stuff that some of it I got done with second chance offers on eBay, and I'm trying to update the spreadsheet to reflect that. And then there are still other teams that you're probably going to have a shot at, as a matter of fact. So as soon as I can get this little bit done, we will take a look and see where we are. So bear with me here just a minute, please. And of course, Excel wants to lock up on me. It's that kind of day, isn't it? It is definitely that kind of day. All right. All right, so I think we've got that done now. There is a little bit of information that I always like to go over before we actually start ripping into things. So I'm going to go ahead and get that put up on the screen, and we'll revisit in a minute and see where we are in terms of payment status on some of this stuff that's floating around out there. So my feedback is automated on eBay. Anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you will instantly get the same in return, thanks to the wonders of automation. And of course, thank you. That's the more important thing. I appreciate you being here. I always like having the company and appreciate you bidding, breaking, chatting, hanging out with me. We're going to take a look next at what is coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, we're going to be opening Immaculate Football, Bowman Chrome Baseball Jumbo, which is also known as the HTA version, and Certified Basketball, all by the full case. On Tuesday, a lot of memorabilia and a little bit of cards. We will do an autographed football, an actual football, TriStar Hidden Treasures, and a single one of those. A full case of Leaf full-size autograph football helmets. That's a 3-box case. A half case, which is 5 jerseys of Leaf autograph football jerseys. And then a 12-box case of high-tech baseball. That's all on Tuesday. Wednesday night, we're going to start at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We have 2 new releases. We will open them both. It'll be a 1-box half case break of Flawless Baseball and an 8-box inner case break of Playbook Football. On Thursday night, we will revisit Prizm Football, open another case of it. And on Friday night, we will start at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, and we will open up another half case of Hoops Basketball. In that particular break, Veteran Base doesn't ship to the teams. It has a separate bidding category, which you can find all the 411 on in the listing description. So we're going to break Flawless Collegiate Basketball first tonight. Prizm Football will be second. Both breaks I'm expecting to ship out the door and on the way to you approximately Thursday the 21st. As always, if I can get something out to you sooner than the date you see there, I will gladly do so. If something unexpected happens, could always slide later. As it stands right now, I think it should be on the way to you Thursday. Everybody's going to pull cards in Prizm. If you get skunked in Flawless Collegiate, you are still going to get a package in the mail. It will have consolation card or cards in it, which is always how it works with me on a paid shipping break. Now, I'm going to bring you back to this screen for a minute while I look and see how much unpaid stuff we're still sitting on and what teams we might need to offer up. So as it stands right now, we've got 5 unpaid teams in Prizm Football. So we'll have to wait and see how those kind of shake out when we get a little closer to time. But we also have a couple of unpaid teams in Flawless Collegiate Basketball. Imagine that. We actually had more, but I managed to get some of them reassigned using eBay Second Chance. So right now we've got the Nuggets available here in Flawless Collegiate for $14.50 is what they sold for on eBay. And let me see what the other one is. The Jazz sold for $13.50. So does anybody want the Nuggets and or the Jazz here in Flawless Collegiate? While you guys are thinking about that, I'm going to update the spreadsheet here to reflect that it is unpaid. So give me a second. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe how much stuff is unpaid tonight, considering there was actually, a pretty good amount of time to get payment in. We've definitely had shorter amounts of time where everything gets paid. Maybe people aren't used to having that much time. I don't know. But Maybe. Who did I say the other one was? The Nuggets and the Jazz. Okay, Nuggets and Jazz. All right, so that is updated, and then I can throw you back over to here for a minute, and let me see if anybody's picking this up. Richard, hi, Richard. Richard asked me earlier, like, what time is the break Central Time Zone? And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know what time Central Time is. Isn't that awful? I know Eastern and Pacific, but anyway, I guessed it right, apparently. All right, so anybody at all wanting the Nuggets or the Jazz here in Flawless Collegiate? Anybody? They are currently unpaid. This is going to be a one-box half-case break. It is break number 2. Everything we're opening tonight ended tonight on eBay, Sunday night, the 17th of November. You've got team names on the left, winning bidders on the right. The Detroit Pistons did not sell at all in the break, so I retained the rights to them. The Pacers are unpaid. Apparently, there's some question about who is on the checklist for the Pacers. I didn't have time to go through and look because it's a collegiate product. That's why it is marked unpaid pending. And, of course, the Jazz and the Nuggets, nobody paid for at all. Good times, fun times at the OK Corral. And I'm going to assume then, since nobody's speaking up, that no one wants to pick up the Jazz or the Nuggets. So I guess those two will end up being mine tonight. When we get to Prizm football, as it stands right now, there are probably 4 or 5 teams in there unpaid that you may have a shot at as well. You notice there that your background went out of focus a little bit. That was on purpose. I always do that to allow us to see cards and things up a little closer than otherwise. Richard, on the NFL teams, I did not pay enough attention to tell you. I just counted them real quickly, but we'll take a look at it, and I will call them out here in a little bit once we get past Flawless. We'll take a look and see what is still sitting there as unpaid at that point in time. Man, I hate those stickers. I can never get those things off of there. I think I liked it better when I just tried to cut through them, honestly. Although sometimes I didn't do that very successfully either. All right, so let me get all of our little cards here out of Flawless Collegiate. Always feels so official when they come in the briefcase, doesn't it? Like, lock that bad boy up. Very official-like. All right, so there you go. So we've got several unpaid teams in here, as I mentioned, and then we've got some teams that never sold at all, and we're just going to open it anyway because it's really been a terrible day. I'm not surprised, honestly, that there's a crap ton of unpaid stuff tonight. It's just been a dreadful day all the way around. All right, so Justin Patton is first out. That's numbered to 20. These, of course, go to their current teams, by the way, since it's collegiate uniforms. And honestly, I'll have to look and see if Justin Patton got traded or not. So many off-season things happened. I'll double check and see if he did or didn't. Mr. John Wall from the University of Kentucky, numbered to 10 for the Washington Wizards, is all kinds of sweet. I like that. But yeah, the Justin Patton, I mean, at last I know, I think he's a Timberwolves, but I am going to double check him. And then we have Calvin Murphy. Calvin is a throwback signature here, numbered to 20. Have no earthly idea where that goes. It will be to the team that he played for the longest, since he is a retired kind of fellow. So we'll put him over there in housekeeping and check him out. Matisse, numbered to 10. We do know where he goes. He's a rookie for the 76ers. That John Wall is nice. You don't pull a lot of John Wall, considering he's a Panini exclusive athlete, you know. Here's Admiral Schofield. That is numbered to 25. The Wizards are on fire tonight, because that heads to them too. And then we have little Romeo Langford. Romeo is numbered to 20, and Romeo Langford is headed to the Boston Celtics. And we've got a duel. Nasir Little, who is the Trailblazers. Kobe White, who is the Bulls, and unless the same person happens to own both teams, that card will end up being distributed using random.org, so we're going to set it up there in housekeeping. And then we have Cam Reddish, which is a nice little hit for the Atlanta Hawks, numbered to 25. Actually, I may as well just set Justin Patton up there too. Make sure he's still Minnesota. All right, then we have Brandon Clark is encased. Looks like that's a little ruby chip perhaps in there. It is numbered to 20, and Brandon Clark, of course, heads to the Grizzlies. Some little thing about, oh, look, they're really diamond chips and they're not blood diamonds, blah, blah, blah. PJ Washington, nice, because he's also an ex-UK guy. It's numbered to 20. PJ heads to the Hornets. And we've got one left, and you know what? I saved the best one for last. I kind of got a little sneak peek at this, taking it out of the briefcase. How would you like to have Zion Williamson if you got the Pelicans tonight? Numbered to 25. There's the man of the hour, the one you wanted. Right there. Nice. Okay, so we've got a little bit of stuff to do here. We're going to start out with me double checking these two guys. So give me a minute to get over here to NBA.com and check them out. And by the way, I cannot see chat while I'm doing this because I use the iPad for chat and I use the iPad to look this up. So just hang tight there for a minute. And we're going to see, I feel like he got traded. This says on NBA.com that Justin Patton is the Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, so Justin Patton headed to the Thunder. Now let me look up Calvin Murphy and find out what the answer is for that. Oh, come on now, Calvin Murphy. Waiting for it to load. All right, Calvin Murphy. It looks like he was pretty much all Rockets, except for maybe 1 year he played somewhere else, preseason somewhere or something maybe, but otherwise he's all Rockets. All right, so Calvin Murphy, Rockets. Now we're going to take a look at this. Find out if we've got the same or different team owners. So just as a reminder, we have the Trailblazers on the top. We have the Bulls on the bottom. And if we don't have the same person that owns both teams, we will go to random.org, and it will work like this. Because we have fewer than 10 items in our list, we will do random 3 different times. First 2 will not count. It will only be the third and final random that will make the decision. So Carolina Blue Heaven has the Portland Trail Blazers. And then we need to go up here and check out the Chicago Bulls, and that is Mushroom 1 Pat. So definitely 2 different team owners means we do have to use random. I always enter top to bottom or left to right. This card is oriented top to bottom. Nasir Little was on the top, so Trailblazers will be typed in first. The Bulls will be typed in second. All right, so you can ignore the first one, ignore the second one, and here comes our third and final. 3 times, our date and time stamp. It goes to the Trailblazers, the Nasir Little bidding spot there for the Trailblazers. Now, this is in a sleeve, so I am not writing on the card itself, which I would hope no one would think I'm doing anyway. But just because, if you don't demonstrate it, I guarantee you somebody will say, oh my gosh, they wrote on my card, my life is over. So now I'm showing you. So Portland Trailblazers taking home that duel by way of random.org. Then dear old Calvin Murphy here, we looked him up. He is the Rockets. We also used NBA.com for me to double check and find the current team for Justin Patton, which is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Cam Reddish belongs to the Atlanta Hawks. Romeo Langford to the Celtics, Admiral Schofield to the Wizards, followed by Matisse here headed to the 76ers, and my man John Wall is also headed to the Washington Wizards. Then PJ Washington for the Hornets is one of our encased cards. Brandon Clark for the Grizzlies, another one of our encased cards. And then the big kahuna, so to speak, Mr. Zion Williamson, also coming out of this case. That one going to the Pelicans. All right, let me do a little rearranging over here. I've got this giant case of prizm set up on the table. I just need to scoot it around to make a little space here. But before I actually slice into it, I guess I do have to go see where we are in terms of payment. I know, that's always the drag, isn't it? That's the drag of the night right there. So let's see where things sit. Right now, we have a lot of stuff open. Imagine my surprise. Not at all. We have the Green Bay Packers that have no bids. I need to find something to write on. I'm not even going to remember all of these. Let me find an ink pen too while we're at it. All right, so we have the Packers that last went at 70, what does that say, 6 or 8? My eyesight is terrible. 76, okay. Then I have got the Chargers and the Browns, and give me a minute to tell you what those went to. I have to go into the record because they were the same person, and it just shows me a total. And I'll go in here and tell you the Cleveland Browns sold for $103.49, and the Chargers sold for 40, let's say 6 or 8, 6 for 46. But don't go away, we're not done yet. There's still more, as it's that kind of night. Then we've got the Colts and the Chiefs. The Colts sold for $41 and some change, and the Kansas City Chiefs sold for $102.50. All right, so I need to find homes for these guys. That's way too much sitting out there for me to just let it ride. That's several $100s sitting there. So who can help me out here that might want some of this stuff? The Packers, the Chargers, the Browns, the Colts, and the Chiefs. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, about $350 worth of unpaid bids. Isn't that lovely? I just love people so much. I really do. All right, let me see what's what. Yeah, okay, so anybody want any of these teams? Packers, Chargers, Browns, Colts, and Chiefs all need to find homes. All right, so Richard says nope, he's out. Joe doesn't want any of them. Anybody else want these? Oh man, this is going to be one of those days. Nicholas, I have no idea. I mean, people do this all the time. They bid, especially people that don't have a super high feedback. They like to bid and then they don't pay, and then you end up like this. And, you know, a couple smaller bids, not too bad, but we're talking about like $350 worth of bids here that I'm just going to have to eat if no one wants any of them. So Packers, Chargers, Browns, Colts, and Chiefs are what we're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and start getting the boxes out of the case and hope that somebody wants some of those. Well, Charles, if you've got something in mind, throw it up there, my friend, and let me know what you're looking at. And let's see what we can come up with. Now, some of these belong to, like, the same person. So, in other words, if somebody's got two teams, I can't go in and just cancel one of their teams and not the other. I would have to cancel them both. There are two people that have two teams, one person that has one team. So if it's one of the people that has 2 teams, which I'll look in a minute and tell you which ones that is, then I would have to find a buyer for both of them to cancel the order. Otherwise, the single team doesn't matter. I think the Packers was the single team, honestly, because that's the one I read off first. But I will double check it for you here in a second. We're just going to get all these out of here and put them on the table and then reconvene in a minute. We're getting there. I got to dig them all out of here. Oh, come on, man. Almost. Okay, there's that. All right, so where are we over here? Dirty Dog is offering 30 for the Chargers. And Charles is offering 30 for the Packers. I can't do 30 on the Packers, man. I mean, that's less than half, way less than half. The Colts at 30 maybe. And let's see. Yeah, so let me see who's got what. So the Packers guys, yeah, I'll take a chance on it myself at 30 versus what it sold for at 76. I think the Packers is worth more than 30. That's just my opinion. Let me see on the Colts and the Chargers if they are the same or a different person. So the Colts and the Chiefs are put together. So if I don't sell the Chiefs, I can't do the Colts. The Browns and the Chargers are put together. So I would need to sell the Browns to sell the Chargers. The Packers are the only freestanding team in there. So, and the Packers, it looks like the best bid we had was only $30, so that didn't do much for us anyway. So, all right, I guess this is going to be one of those really crappy nights for me because I lost some on all that unpaid basketball too. So I guess I'm paying you to be here tonight. That's basically what it comes down to. Let me get the spreadsheet updated to reflect that all this stuff is unpaid, and then we'll be rolling on down our merry little way. Just give me a second, please. All right, so I have got Packers, Chargers. Who else did I say? Colts, Chiefs, and Browns. All right. Browns, Chiefs, and the Colts. All right, good times. It's all updated. Let's get on with our business here then. Okay, so we probably need to look at shipping information again in case some of you jumped in after we already went over this. So everything tonight was a paid shipping break, expected to be on the way to you approximately Thursday the 21st. As always, if I can get something out to you sooner than the date you see there, I will gladly do so. Otherwise, you can expect it to be about Thursday. Everybody's going to pull cards in Prizm, so you don't need to worry about consolation cards here. But in Flawless Collegiate, if you happen to get skunked in that one, you will still get a package in the mail. It will have consolation card or cards in it, and it will ship out with the rest of the break. So this is a 12-box case of Prizm Football. It's a full case break number 3. It also ended tonight on eBay Sunday night, the 17th of November. And team names are on the left, winning bidders on the right, and all of our lovely unpaid teams there highlighted in yellow. So there you go. There goes Christmas, right? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be telling somebody in my family, yeah, you were going to get something better, but now you're not. Because I just bought like, I don't know, $400+ worth of breaks tonight. Woohoo! All right. Oh, I don't doubt that when Dirty Dog says somebody maliciously bid some of that, I don't doubt it one bit. There absolutely are people that intentionally do exactly that. People that, have bid in the past and have been blocked or have whatever other issues they have. They create new accounts and they do stuff. Absolutely. I don't know that all of them are that way, and maybe none of them are, but that definitely is a thing that happens more than it should. That's for sure. But anyway, not a lot we can do about it now, is there? Charles, yeah, the Colts and the Chiefs were paired together. So again, you know, I can't really cancel half the order. You know, I've either got to cancel the whole thing or nothing. So yeah, that was the deal with that. So, oh, Stang Lover, I appreciate you, man. But you know what? We're already rocking and rolling. We'll just let it go and just go on. Not worry about it. So, it is what it is. Maybe I'll get lucky, right? We will see. All right, in this first box, of course, I never sell mine, so even if I do, they'll just collect dust, I think. I'm going to change this camera angle slightly downward because that looked a little bit high for where we want to see our cards tonight, I think. That's maybe a little bit better. So we're going to go a little slower through this first box, talk about some of what we're seeing, then we'll go faster through subsequent boxes. So legendary talents, we're going to find plenty of those inserts. That's just a base one. It's not numbered. We may find some that are prisms, but they also probably are not numbered. If they are, I will let you know. This little parallel, which is kind of, I don't know, orange-ish, I guess. When we see those, it's going to be to 249 on it. And Nicholas says the Browns has to be intentional. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure the person who bid on, well, I shouldn't say I'm sure it is. It may not be. I don't know. But it certainly, you could see how it would seem that way. I will grant you that. But who knows? I don't know what anybody's situation is, so I'm not gonna say that one way or the other. But it's definitely possible. Blue wave. We'll find a lot of blue waves. That's numbered to 199. Little advertising card. We'll find loads of those. And I don't think I said this in all of the hubbub, but we are looking for 3 autographs per box. It is on average, quote unquote. That's what Panini always says. That just simply means sometimes we get a hit replaced with a rewards point card. Or every once in a while, they'll just F us pretty good and short us one. But fortunately, that doesn't happen very often. Number to 75, you have Caleb Wilson for the Arizona Cardinals. That is, I believe, called the scope pattern. I'm not going to 100% swear to that, but I think that's what it's called. You know me, I'm very bad with these pattern names, but that would be my guess anyway. Mac Wilson and the Cleveland Browns. And that is on a sensational signatures insert. So there you go, Cleveland Browns. We say there's not very many hits in there for the Browns, and the very first one we see is the Browns. So isn't that funny? Funny how things work, isn't it? But anyway, on we go. Onward and upward. Jay Allen, you need some Tennessee Titans in here. All right, let's see what we can find on the Titans. On the Chargers, yeah, again, unfortunately, they were paired with another team. They were not a freestanding team. So anytime it's paired for the same bidder, I've got to either cancel both or cancel none, unfortunately. So, yeah, it blows. Hey, Jeff, yes, it is the first box, and thank you, man, for picking up the Patriots. That would have been another one we would have been dealing with, unpaid guys, had it not been for the fact that Jeff stepped in and picked it up on eBay Second Chance, and Stang Lover stepped in and picked up some stuff on Second Chance that was unpaid in basketball, so there was even more than you saw here tonight. So that's a hype insert. It's just a base one. There are prism versions of that. They are still typically not numbered. If we run across one that is numbered, I'm going to flag that for you and let you know. I'm going to grab all these base cards out of here first off the top, and then we'll stop at the point where we have some inserts and look from there. Because that's just what I felt like doing. How about that? Julian Edelman for the Patriots, numbered to 25 with a little camo. Jeff just in time to see the first Patriot that is a parallel or whatnot. We've got a couple more base. Then we have ourselves Tyree Jackson for the Buffalo Bills. That is blue crystal. It is numbered to 99. Blue Wave, remember, is to 199, but Blue Crystal is to straight up 99. Got an autograph for the Ravens. That would be Trace McSorley. It is numbered to 75 with the scope pattern. And the Ravens won by like 1,000 points today, roughly. A Brilliance insert, base, non-prism, not numbered. Noah Fant, once again, our orange are to 249. We won't necessarily continue to flip those in subsequent boxes. You're just going to see orange and you're going to know, hey, it's the 249. All right. What else have we got? What else is hanging around in this first box that we can find to make ourselves happy? Hopefully something. All right, this is numbered to 199, and that is also for the Browns, Christian Kirksey. We should have another autograph in one of these packs. We've only seen two, I think, haven't we, so far out of this box? Here's our silver prism. That is the Chargers and Keenan Allen. Silver prisms are going to fall roughly one per box. We have a red wave, Baker Mayfield for the Browns. And the red waves are numbered to 149. And we'll keep on trucking here. We got a ways to go. There's fireworks. Again, it's just a base insert. Deshaun Watson and the Texans. This happy little fellow here with Terry Bradshaw and the Steelers is numbered to 175. Anytime you see that particular color combination, you know it's going to be to 175. And I'm actually going to, I think, slightly rearrange something over here. Bear with me a second. I try to keep a few of these parallels a little bit separate, just in case, you know, somebody wants to recap one or you have a question about it and I don't want to have to try to dig it out from a stack of like 9 million base cards. So I try to keep them somewhat separate, but I had made a bit of a mess of it, truthfully. Bryce Love and the Washington Redskins, numbered to 75. Scope pattern is the way to rock tonight, isn't it? It's coming up everywhere. And then a couple more little base cards. So there's box number one. Now you get kind of the groove and the flow of how this will go. And again, we'll buzz a little faster through it in the rest of these boxes. Because it's a base heavy product. I love it. I love Prism, but it is base heavy. Nicholas, the first two autographs, no, they were not Lions. It was Browns, Ravens, and Redskins, I believe, out of box number one, wasn't it, guys? I think so. Definitely wasn't Lions, but I think it was Browns, Ravens, Redskins. There are a lot of high-scoring games today, by the way. Anybody else notice that besides me? Tons and tons of high-scoring games. Oh, goodness, that pack I didn't mean to have scooting across the table, but it did anyway, didn't it? Silver Prism right on time for your Lions is TJ Hawkinson. You brought the magic with you, didn't you? And there's another blue crystal. Those are to 99. Here comes a red wave to 149 for the Bears. They're playing right now, I believe, David Montgomery. Or if they're not, it'll be starting shortly. Soon. Soon. You are looking for a T.J. Hawkinson, Kerryon Johnson. Oh, T.J. Hawkinson autographs and Kerryon Johnson parallels. You're having the 1 of 1 and you're working on the rainbow. Oh, nice. Okay. Nice. Well, we'll see what we can come up with for you. Maybe we can add to it for you, I hope. To 199, Matt Breida and the 49ers. You know, the Eagles, well, they didn't beat the Patriots, but they look better than I think they've looked in a while. So I thought that was encouraging if you're an Eagles fan anyway. Jonathan Abram and the Raiders to 99. Raiders, of course, whipped up on the Bengals today. Ryan Finley did some good stuff, though. I mean, he definitely had some mistakes, but it's only his second game, and he had a nice run and some other good plays that he made. So I think if they're just patient with Ryan Finley, he's gonna get better. I mean, obviously their season is shot. So, I mean, there's no reason to take him out at this point. You just let him go the rest of the season like they're doing up in Washington with Dwayne Haskins. It's like, yeah, we're not contending. We'll just let it ride. There's Tariq Cohen and the Bears to 249. And sometimes I think that's the way to go. If your season's already kind of done, almost, if you will, want to say it that, I guess you can kind of say it that way. Put the young guys in there. Let them get some experience. It's to 199, Troy Brown, Patriots. Nicholas says he'd like to see a gold vinyl. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Maybe we'll find one tonight. Red Wave, Keenan Allen, Chargers to 149. And this little bad boy there is numbered to 175 for the Green Bay Packers with Brett Favre. Well, Stanglover says 17-10 against an 0-9 team is not considered beating up on them. Okay, fine. But in general, I thought the Raiders looked pretty good today. It's the first time they've won 3 games in a row since, like, 2016, I think, is what they said in the broadcast. So, hey, if you're a Raiders fan, you know what? You probably are really happy with the way the game went today. It's to 299, or 249, rather, Michael Gallup and the Cowboys. Sometimes it's the small victories that matter, isn't it? And an autograph for the Ravens, Justice Hill. We're going to see lots of Ravens tonight, maybe. Seems like it's going to be that kind of box, or that kind of case, doesn't it? With lots and lots of Ravens. Considering we've already seen 2, I mean. Well, this is our first purple, and that is A.J. Green and the Bengals. It is numbered to 49. It's got the little checkerboard kind of design on it there. And we'll find a handful of those as we go along tonight, or at least we should. Paris Campbell and the Colts to 149, Red Wave. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the Bengals are as, well, bad as they are this year. It's like, what happened? I don't know. They weren't, I mean, they haven't been world class for a few years, that's for sure. But they also haven't been 0-9 in the last few years either. Especially considering you've had a coaching change and some other lineup changes that on paper should have made them better. But really struggled this year. I don't even know if my poor Pittsburgh Steelers would be able to put a team on the field next time. I mean, good grief. Got James Conner out with his shoulder. Benny Snell out with, I forgot even what he injured. Ankle or foot or knee or something. And then, of course, we got Deontay Johnson with a concussion from last week's game. And then we have Juju Smith-Schuster in concussion protocol from last week's game. And I want to say there's somebody else, too, that we recently lost out of the offensive side of the ball. It's to 249, Carson Wentz. I guess I'm lucky that Mason Rudolph didn't get a concussion after getting popped in the head. Myles Garrett with his own helmet. I mean, how embarrassing that you get hit in your head with your own helmet. Like, come on. If you're going to be in a brawl, I mean, the last thing you want, in my opinion, is to be hit in the head with your own helmet. That is just dreadful. 250 Panini Rewards points sits right up there in housekeeping. We'll give it out at the end of the break using random. And there's a little John Elway for the Broncos. Once again, those blue crystals are numbered to 99. But somebody did get a really good picture of right about the time the helmet was making contact with Mason Rudolph's head. And it looked like it was kind of, you know, the white rubbery part on the back, like where it would meet your neck. It looks like that's the part he got hit with, so it could have been a lot worse. Raquel Armstead and the Jags autograph hit. Hi, Robert. You said, what are you asking me? Any of my unpaid teams? I don't know. I didn't look at the bidders' names, honestly. I'm usually in such a hurry trying to get invoicing and all that stuff done. I very seldom actually look at bidder names the night of the break. Even when I'm cutting and pasting the spreadsheet, I'm kind of doing it on autopilot. But that is good to know, Robert, about that particular person. I will have to email Swifty and see what that user ID is and make sure that I don't encounter the same problem. There are ways to prevent it if you know ahead of time. Jason Pierre-Paul, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, our silver prism, numbered to 249. Austin Hooper for the Falcons. A little more base. So yeah, I will have to reach out to him and see what's what. Thank you for letting me know about that too. That kind of stuff helps to know about. To 199, Quadre Allison. That's the Blue Wave. He did, he did a bunch of breaks with him. 5 breaks, like 4 teams each. Wow. Yeah, that's the worst. To 149, a little Tajay Sharp, Tennessee Titans. And that is numbered to 175, Tom Brady. I will tell you what, though, this is the time of year when that stuff starts happening. I've already had my first one. Usually by when you get a month or 2 out from the holidays, that's when, you hate to use the word scammer, but it kind of is, when more people that try to scam you come out of the woodwork. And I've had my first one of the holiday season who gave me a lot of trouble at the time of the break anyway. And then supposedly, everything was resolved and everything was fine and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then he waits like 30 days and files a bunch of cases to get all of his money back after he got all of my cards too. So he's the first one of the year. I'm still fighting it though. It's to 199, Sean Alexander. But every year, right before Christmas, you can count on probably a couple $1,000s worth of fraud happening. It's almost like that's how people do their Christmas shopping lists or something. I don't know. It's really messed up. But it does happen. Oh, look at that. That is to 99 for my Steelers with Rocky Bleier. Man, you just don't pull him. You just really don't pull Rocky. That, I love that. Steelers, I'm jealous of your hit because I love Rocky. Flashbacks, indeed. That's the card set on there. It's some throwback ink, legendary Steeler right there. Love it. This is number to 10, Ronald Jones and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That is our gold parallel. Whenever you see gold, that is exactly what it's going to be numbered to. Nice low 10. Just the way we like it. And there again, numbered to 175, Kyle Rudolph, who had the game-winning touchdown today for the Vikings. Skol. Oh, and then the guy who Stiff Swifty came into the room and raised all kinds of heck. Wow. Well, that's not good. That is not good. Oh, Robert, right? You like Rocky too? I mean, how do you not love Rocky? Although, these days, let me tell you, have you heard him speak in the last year or two? Man, oh man, he hadn't have any filter these days. I mean, he kind of never did, but he definitely doesn't these days, and he'll just lay it out there and just tell you right exactly what he thinks about the current Steelers organization. Which, I mean, hey, he earned the right, I guess, but I still love him. Gotta love Rocky if you like the Steelers. Gotta love Rocky. Oh, Nicholas, you were hoping for Barry Sanders on that flashback. Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you on that one, my friend. Maybe we'll find you something else good, though. Silver Prism goes to the Green Bay Packers. That is Jace Sternberger. Number to 175. It's Marquise Blair and the Seahawks. But, you know, I mean, who knows? Maybe one of these people from tonight will end up getting their stuff paid before it's all said and done. You never know. Occasionally it happens. Zach Allen and the Arizona Cardinals. Sensational signatures. Kyler Murray, by the way, had a nice little touchdown run today. And so did Derek Carr, who really is not particularly mobile. But he somehow even had a nice little touchdown run today. Jerry Rice and the 49ers to 199. All in all, it was kind of a good day for football. That is to 249, David Johnson and the Cardinals. Nicholas, you said you used up all your luck when you pulled the 1 of 1 and you haven't had any good luck since? Oh, no, let's not think that way. No, we don't want to think like that. Jack Lambert is your all-time favorite Steeler? I don't know who my all-time favorite is. I like a lot of the, as you say, the older Steelers. I like a lot of them. And Lambert is right up there, too. But I don't know. I don't know if I could really choose an actual all-time favorite of Steelers. I do like them all a lot. We have a green scope Sam Darnold. Those are numbered to 75. I don't know. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, if I was forced to choose just one Steeler of all time, who would it be? I really don't know. Number to 49, Pat Tillman, Arizona Cardinals. We continue to flip some of the lower numbered ones because, you know, if it's low enough numbered, you might want to see the actual sequence on the back. To 249, Jabril Peppers and the Giants. I think Franco Harris would have to be pretty high on my list. He might not be the top, but he's really near the top. It's to 249 for the Colts. course, I like Jerome Bettis a lot, too. I love the bus. Jay Allen, you're right. The luck does always come back around. Even when you hit a rough patch, it does eventually swing back around and get you back on track. But it surely isn't nearly as much fun while you're waiting on that. We've all been there at some time or another. Red to 149, Kenyon Drake and the Dolphins. We have an autograph for the Giants, Darius Slayton. Nicholas says the bus has a great autograph in this product. Yeah, I do like Jerome a lot. I love the commercial he does. The bad thing is I can't remember what the product is, but he's playing flag football. You know, of course, like these guys trying to stop the bus, and obviously they can't. And he's dragging people along with him, goes across, spikes the ball, 49-0. I love that commercial. Ryan Finley and the Bengals. But I can't remember the product, which means it's probably not a super effective commercial, doesn't it? To 149, Dexter Lawrence. That is also the Giants. But, you know, I like Hines Ward and Troy Polamalu. I love a lot of those guys, but Franco Harris might, I mean, he would be right up there in like my top 2 or 3, if not the top 1. And Jerome Bettis would be up in my top 2 or 3 as well. A lot of people would probably say Terry Bradshaw, but not really me. I mean, I like Terry Bradshaw, and I'm glad for everything he did for the Steelers, but he would never be one of my favorite Steelers. That's probably like a sin to say that, right? But it's true. Just speaking the truth. 249, Tyrell Williams, Raiders. $175, N'Keal Harry, Patriots. Is it an insurance commercial? Oh, yeah, maybe, what is it, like, is it Geico? Which one is it? I don't know. But at least, yeah, you were good to remember it was an insurance commercial. Told you it was going to be a Ravens kind of night. To 49, Miles Boykin. The Ravens just keep on coming out of here. Sometimes you can tell after the first couple of boxes if you've pulled a lot of one particular team that there's probably going to be a lot more of them in the case. Dalvin Cook, our silver prism, heads to the Vikings. Number to 149, Matt Breida, 49ers. So who's everybody's Super Bowl predictions at this point? Who do you think's going to end up in the Super Bowl? I don't, man, I just hate to say Patriots. They've been there so many times, but honestly, they look really good again this year, don't they? Numbered to 49, Brett Rypien for the Broncos. But I haven't decided who I think would be playing against them yet. I haven't gotten that far. And Julian Love for the Giants. I think it's safe to assume my Steelers will not be there. I think that's the understatement of the year. To 249, DeAndre Baker. I don't know. I think it's kind of wide open once you get past the Patriots, who I do think look awfully tough. Although, they're only one game up on the Ravens, I think, aren't they? to 199 Malik Hooker. So I don't think you can totally dismiss the Ravens yet either. Jay Allen, you don't even have a guess, man? Not even a guess? That is crazy. You always have at least a guess for me. Nicholas says it's going to be the Patriots and the 49ers. I could see that. I could see it maybe being the 49ers. Drew Bledsoe, scope to 75, Patriots. And there's dear old Easton Stick. He shows up so often. That heads to the Chargers. I saw where Terrell Pryor is lobbying to join the Steelers. It's to 199. I guess, well, he's played a lot of different places. He started out, of course, with the Raiders, played quarterback there a little bit, which is what he played in college. He's been in the league 9 or 10 years. He's been with the Browns. After he left the Browns, he bounced around from 2 or 3 other teams. I think most recently he was the Jags, and he had an injury, and I think they cut him, if I remember right. It's to 175. But he hasn't had a team since. But I think now that we've got basically nobody to receive or run the ball, I think he's lobbying to join the Steelers because that's his hometown team. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then, of course, the Colin Kaepernick thing yesterday. Was that not weird, guys? I mean, if you're going to have this workout with the NFL, which, by the way, was announced kind of close to the thing, but you announce it jointly, Colin Kaepernick and the NFL, that he's going to host this workout. You give all the details, the when, the where, the whatever. Wouldn't you assume they had agreed upon the details before they announced it? You would think, right? But then, when he's supposed to do his workout yesterday, he announced maybe an hour or two before he was supposed to start the workout, which was in Atlanta, going to be in the Falcons Stadium. I forget who was. Hugh Jackson maybe was supposed to run the workout. And there were like 26 of the 32 teams there to 249 Mohamed Sanu. So already, there at the stadium. And then an hour or so before it's supposed to start, Kaepernick's team comes out and announces that they're not going to do it there because they don't like the terms that the NFL set forth, as in they couldn't tape it and some stuff like that. So they move it to some high school field, but like 2 hours away. DeAndre Baker and the New York Giants. So Hugh Jackson just gets on the plane and flies back home just to forget it. Of the roughly 24 teams that were in attendance, apparently only 6 went on to make that journey. It's to 199 for the Jets. And the rest of them, I guess, also just turned around and went home. So I'm confused by that. It's to 249 Justin Tucker and the Ravens. Because, I mean, if you're trying to show, like, hey, I'm not going to cause any drama, I'm good to go, because it was more about just showing that he's in shape. It was also about showing, like, I'm mentally ready to play, I'm not going to cause a bunch of drama, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to be ready to go. And then you come up and do that at your NFL arranged workout? Like, what in the world? I just don't even understand the point of it. And his camp had to have known way before you would get to that hour or two out that they were not going to be there. It's to 99 Golden Tate for the Giants. So honestly, I think he did himself more harm than good, but I thought the whole thing was super weird. Don't understand what the point was. I mean, so yeah, you got, I guess, some of it taped. But listen, if I'm a team that put a scout or a GM or whoever on a plane to fly to Atlanta to watch you, and then you do that, oh no, son, I'm not watching your tape. We're done. It's to 49, Alvin Kamara and the Saints. But that may not be how these other teams feel, but I thought it was really detrimental to him. To 149, Jalen Ramsey and the Jags. But also, just why even agree to it? If you don't like the terms, why even agree to do the thing and then change it and make yourself kind of look worse? Devin Bush, I like this guy for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do like that guy. He has been very good. I'm glad we traded up to get him. He's been well worth it. You know, we had to have somebody after Ryan Shazier went down, and Devin Bush has performed admirably. Nicholas says that's enough Giants. He don't want to see any more Giants. We have had a few Giants, haven't we? Along with Ravens. Oh, Robert, I just saw that you typed in a minute ago that you lived in Pittsburgh for 19 years. And you're still pretty close, an hour and a half north. So cool. My sister lives near Pittsburgh in 84, Pennsylvania. It's to 199, Eric Ebron. And she and my brother-in-law are actually coming in next weekend. So we'll probably have to take Saturday and Sunday night off for breaking next weekend, I expect. Because she always makes all kind of plans, you know, one night at our mom's house, one night at our dad's house, and running around doing stuff. So I imagine we'll have a couple nights off next weekend. Eli to 75. Right as you said, no more Giants, we pulled another Giant. That's kind of not good, right? Well, it's good if you have the Giants. Maybe not as good if you don't. Dallas Cowboys, Tony Pollard, low number to 25 on our sensational signatures autograph with a little camo background there. Our silver prism held out to almost the end. It is Marcel Aitman for the Raiders. Number to 175, Joanne Williams, and he is the Patriots. All right, we're halfway home. 6 done, 6 to go. Richard, you need some Bears, and Jay Allen needs some Titans. Stanglever needs some Rams and some Tampa Bay Buccaneers autographs specifically. And he says he needs to add to his two $10 flawless cards. Well, flawless teams didn't sell for a whole lot tonight, though, outside of like the Pelicans and maybe a couple of the others. So hopefully it didn't hurt you too badly on that one anyway. Flawless, really all the flawless this year has gone, for basketball, gone a bit lower than I would normally expect, but basketball is real fickle that way. You never quite know what's going to happen. And it's always been that way with basketball. It's always very fickle. Travis Homer, silver prism for the Seahawks. To 199, that's Ed Oliver and the Bills. Yeah, I don't know why that is with basketball either, but it definitely is very up and down. That is number to 49, Clowney for the Texans. Oh, did you? Oh, you had 7. You had 7 teams in flawless. I knew you had a few, but I didn't remember that you had 7. That does make it a bit harder to break even, doesn't it? I do understand that. Naheem Hines, Colts, scope to 75. A little Jarrett Stidham base and some Irv Smith Jr. base. Numbered to 249, there's Hayden Hurst and the Ravens. A couple more base, and we're out of that group. Andrew, yes, Flawless was shortly after we started. The break started at 8 tonight, and Flawless was, I mean, we had a little bit of a delay because there were some unpaid teams I was working on trying to find a home for. But I would still say Flawless was probably done by what, guys? 8:15? 8:20, somewhere in there, even considering the slight delay. And that is number 299 for the Buffalo Bills, Dawson Knox. Number to 249, Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers. Wonder if the Panthers are going to move on from Cam Newton. Do you think they are? It's to 149, Anthony Johnson. I mean, because he's getting ready to hit free agency, isn't he? And he's been injured a lot. And I bet they do. I think the Bucks move on from Winston, the Titans from Mariota, and I think they're going to move on from Cam in Carolina. Dwayne Haskins, that makes you happy if you have the Redskins. Sensational Signatures, the card set. Robert, you think Cam's going to be elsewhere also? Yeah, that's just kind of the... I think he's going to ask for too much money for Carolina to want to pay it, considering how often he's been injured and all the things they've dealt with. I just don't think Carolina will come up off the money. So I do think he'll move on. Oh, Nicholas, yeah, hit me up, man. Just send me a message through eBay if you would. Just, you don't have to, like, write a whole bunch that might get us both in trouble about, like, selling it and blah, blah, blah. Brandon Cooks and the Rams, you just say something about whatever happened with that Easton Stick autograph or something kind of generic, and I will know what you are talking about, and then I'll let you know whether or not it ultimately got paid. Because, as I said, sometimes people will pay after the fact. It not awfully frequent. That's to $199, which is why I mostly don't let them ride. I usually just sell them and move on at the start of the break. But since the way it was done tonight, you know, with teams being hooked together and stuff, it was just done such a weird way. I didn't end up doing that. So who knows? Maybe they'll pay. But if they don't, yeah, just send me a message and remind me. Trayvon Williams for the Bengals, number 275, Cincinnati. I've got so many cards here. I never sell my cards, mainly because I don't like listing individual cards. And because if they're not graded, you never know. I mean, you get these people that if there's like the tiniest little flaw on it that they can see with a magnifying glass, you know, they'll demand their money back and that sort of thing. It's another reason I don't like to do it. 250 rewards points, so we've now had 2 hits replaced with points cards. So now both of those set in our housekeeping area. We will give them each out using random.org at the end of the night. Ah, Jody. Well, there you go. So now we know. Jody says, just paid for the Browns and the Chargers. All right. Well, cool. Then, no, we didn't. They actually, we talked about it. We had a bunch of unpaid teams tonight, Jody, sitting in there like 5 or 6. And the way it shook out, none of them got sold on to anybody else. So, awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Because we thought they might be gone and sitting. Because usually, you know how it is. Usually if something's not paid by the start of the break, it often doesn't get paid. So But they did not get resold tonight, so they are yours. And thank you for paying for them. And you have had some hits, so that's going to work out for us both. I appreciate you. Curtis Samuel, scope to 75 for the Panthers. So that also answers your questions, Nicholas. So the Chargers have officially been paid. So that means I do not have an Easton Stick autograph for you, my friend, because it's going to go, it sounds like, to its original home there with Jody. Little Jordan Humphrey. We have not seen him in a while. That, in a product, I mean. That is the Saints, numbered to 75. I saw him a bunch in preseason, and not much since. Jody, what movie did you see? Was it something fun? You might have to give us some details. Catch us up. Ty Johnson for the Lions. Tell us if it's something we need to go see. Oh, I don't think the points would replace the RPA, Nicholas. That I don't think they would ever do that. It usually just replaces like the basic hits. And a lot of times, if you find a lot of points, there'll be one big autograph somewhere in the case. Not always, but often. James Washington to 99 Steelers. So, you know, there is some hope that we might find a big smoking hot hit in here somewhere. The Ty Johnson was an autograph for your Lions. Yes, it was, Nicholas. Oh, you saw the new Grinch. Oh, okay, cool. You went with your 4-year-old and 2-year-old. Oh, boy. Yeah, kids in movies, that can go either way, can't it? That's to 149, Devontae Parker and the Dolphins. Yeah, you actually have... Jody, if you hang around to the end, we'll do the recap and you can see your autograph hits in there. But our very first autograph that came out was the Browns. Keanu Neal and the Falcons. And we also hit the Easton Stick for the Chargers for you. But you'll get a chance to look at them at the end if you can hang out with us. We've got 4 boxes and, of course, the rest of the one I'm opening right now. And then we'll do a little recapping. A camo Kirk Cousins for the Vikings will be to 25. Oh, you watched it at the house. No way would you take them out to the movies. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea because, yeah, going out when they're that age can be rough, especially to the movies. Although, sometimes with the animated ones, it will hold their attention pretty well. So here comes our RPA, Nicholas, that you were talking about, wondering about. It is Mecole Hardman Jr., numbered to 10 for the Kansas City Chiefs. And look at that. That is nice, right? Yeah, that is nice. That is a sweet little hit for Kansas City. Jalen, you have 5,250 points that you've never used. Oh, there's stuff on there you can get. I mean, maybe not to resell as much. Steve Largent to 175. But, I mean, you have your favorite teams, your house teams and things that you personally like and collect, don't you? You'd definitely be able to find some stuff for them. It just takes some scrolling through there. I mean, I pick up little stuff off there with points for the Steelers all the time. Like I got some Josh Dobbs stuff. He's gone now. We don't have him anymore. But when we did, I got some Josh Dobbs autographs for like 500 or 600 points. And I got some basketball autographs from some of the lesser, you know, not the star level UK players. Gardner Minshew to 249 Jags. And I would pick those up for, you know, a few hundred points. Just because it's for my personal collection. But if you are trying to find something to resell, then yeah, I could agree with that. That's blue to 199, Allen Robinson. Oh, that's a good idea, too. Nicholas saves his points for when they put out the packs, which they did do recently, didn't they? Ty Johnson, Silver, Prizm, Lions. To 249, Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings. They did, what wasn't it? It wasn't White Sparkle, was it? What did they just do recently in packs? It wasn't Downtown. It was, why can't I think of it? Kaboom. That's what it was. Took me a minute. Had to work my way through it. Well, yes, that is a valid point too, Jay Allen. When they do packs like Kaboom and stuff like that, yes, they do sell out really quickly. You're not wrong about that. You kind of have to be right on there when they drop, because everybody else probably has a similar idea to what you have, which is save them up for the packs. Hi, Strong Crosby. I agree with you about shipping and handling. I think it is insane that Panini charges shipping and handling to redeem those points. Because, truthfully, we've already paid for something to get the points to begin with. You already bought the box or the pack or the case or the whatever to get the points to begin with, which you weren't expecting to get. You were expecting to get the hit. And then oftentimes you have to save up to get what you want to 149, and then they have the nerve to charge postage on it. It makes me crazy. I've gone off on that little tangent a few times. I do not like that at all. I do not think they should charge any shipping and handling when you are redeeming points. It's to 75, Seahawks. Of course, we all know I don't really like the points, period, but I definitely don't like paying shipping and handling. Should be free. Free. To 249, Miles Gaskin. But they don't really care what we think now, do they? We hit a redemption. Right there it is. I'm going to leave it face down until the end of the break because, well, I'm mean like that. I'm very cruel. It's very cruel and unusual punishment. But at the very end of the night, we will flip it over along with any other redemptions that we find, and then we'll go to the Panini website and check it out and find out what, if anything, it is going to be numbered to, and the team and all that fun stuff. We'll look at all of it at the end. That's fatter. That pack looks fatter than the others. And those cards must be more curved than some of the others are. There's a White Sparkle Soccer on there now. I'm not into soccer, so that wouldn't totally appeal to me, I must admit. Ooh, Nicholas says Barry Sanders is a redemption, so he's feeling like he's got some renewed hope there for his Barry Sanders. Tariq Cohen to 49, Chicago Bears. Yeah, I don't know who all has redemptions in here. We haven't hit a lot of redemptions in Prizm. Of course, I'm also a tad bit behind on breaking it because I was right after it released is when I was scheduled off for that week, and so we're a bit behind where we would normally be in getting it broken. To 99, Julian Love, another New York Giant. And number to 175, there is the bus. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mr. Jerome Bettis. Oh, Jody is totally rubbing it in. Saying he just pulled Barry Sanders to 30 in the last break he got in. Oh, man. You might make Nicholas cry. I don't know. Alex Barnes to 75, Tennessee Titans. And I don't remember the name of that pattern. That's different than, is that scope? And I'm just looking at it differently. Maybe it is scope again. I don't know. Might be just the color in the background made it look different to me. Staying Lover. Oh, man. That is sarcasm at its finest right there, but I feel your pain. I do. It slowed down for the Ravens and then all of a sudden sped up for the Giants, didn't it, in terms of what's coming out for them anyway. Our silver prism approaches, or not our silver prism, but a silver prism something. Illumination, Aaron Rodgers for the Packers. Just a little different sort of unnumbered insert, but one we haven't really seen up to this point. To 175, Jalen Ferguson. Ravens. Ravens. Yeah, I know, Jay Allen. Nobody does a good job randomizing teams anymore. Topps or Panini. Problems with both of them these days. Drew Lock, Silver Prism, Broncos. To 149, Roquan Smith, Chicago Bears. To 249, that is Brandon Cooks and the Rams. And to 199, Jordan Howard, Eagles. We are 9 boxes completed, 3 boxes remaining. We're cutting a path through it. Oh, Jody, are you selling the Barry Sanders? Then maybe, Nicholas, maybe you want to buy it. I don't have any idea what they're selling for. I haven't priced them at all. I haven't priced any Prism this year, actually. Again, just where it fell release-wise relative to when I was taking that week off. It just kind of fell outside of my realm. Another Dwayne Haskins. Wow. That's unusual. You're lucky if you see him once. We've got him twice, numbered to 99. That one on a variation. So the Redskins with a pair of Dwayne Haskins out of this case so far. To 175, Vernon Hargreaves, which is Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if I did not say that, which I don't think I did. I thought it, but I don't believe I actually said it out loud. And here come the Texans. Karen Higdon to 75. Ooh, fighting. Did you hear that? Somebody downstairs is fighting. That did not sound good either, did it? To 149, Byron Murphy, Arizona Cardinals. Oh, wow. So it looks like they're selling for about 100 to 150 on eBay. That's a pretty good little price for Barry Sanders. Not that it's not worth it, but I'm just, that's good. Yeah, you heard that, Jay Allen. Yeah, I know. I don't know what that was either. It sounded like somebody took a chunk out of somebody else, though, so... Either way, it was intervened quickly down there, so whatever happened, I'm going to assume somebody's tending to it. To 175, Vance McDonald and the Steelers. So hopefully I won't have to deal with any midnight vet visits. And the Redskins, Kelvin Harmon. The Redskins kind of box, numbered to 75. Yeah, I had to go to a stupid weekend clinic thing today. I woke up with a little bit of a bug, and I was like, oh man. And I knew if I didn't get something for it, I'd be feeling terrible by tomorrow. So I ran into one of those little weekend places. Chris Carson to 25. Seahawks. Camo is the pattern. So yeah, they loaded me up with all kinds of medication. To 249, Devin Bush and the Steelers. I know, Jay Allen, it did sound like a serious fight, didn't it? It didn't, you know, sometimes they just play and chase each other and whatever, but that didn't sound that way. That sounded like somebody was trying to do some harm to somebody else, so I'm glad it was, there was intervention that happened quickly, it sounded like. I can't see it, I can only hear it. To 149, Kerryon Johnson, Lions. To 249, Landon Collins. Yeah, Jay Allen, I know. I should have known last night I was going to get hit with it, but I really thought, it's not that big a deal, you know. Like, I knew I had a little asthma and whatever, but I didn't really think it was going to be that big a deal. And then I woke up today and I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh, better go. To 199, Anthony Barr and the Vikings. These days, there are, you know, those little clinics that operate evenings and weekends and stuff. They don't charge you any more than going to the regular doctor. So figure, why wait? Why wait till tomorrow and get sicker? Just get it done. Darnell Savage, Silver Prizm, Green Bay Packers. To 199, that would be a little Royce Freeman action for the Broncos. So yeah, I've already dosed myself up twice. Probably technically should have only done it once so far. But, you know, occasionally I play a little loose and easy with the dosing. What can I say? Well, I think only the top two are facing the wrong way on those. That throws me off. Some of these packs have a couple of the cards facing the wrong way and then the rest of the cards facing the other way. And as soon as I switch them over, that's what happens. Whoops, there's our little... Now look at that. That's one of the inserts, the little kid reporters, and even that thing is curved. How did that stupid thing get curved? To 149, you have one for the Jets with Chris Herndon. To 249, Ray Lewis. Of course, the one thing about those little clinics is you usually get a nurse practitioner as opposed to a physician. And nurse practitioners will usually, if you kind of have an idea, like this kind of medicine's worked in the past or whatever, they don't even argue with you. They'll just be like, yeah, here you go. Prescribe it, which is nice. I do like that part. Number to 25, it is Damian Harris, camo for the Patriots. I say Silver Prizm, Sammy Watkins, Kansas City Chiefs. What if that's Tom Brady under there? Wouldn't that be something? To 199, Lamar Miller, that's the Texans. We haven't pulled a Tom Brady in a while. We're kind of due. Oh, you don't have any of the little weekend and evening clinics around where you are? Oh, I thought everybody had those these days. It used to be that we only had the ones that were called, I think they're called urgent care. and that was like the brand name of them. But I never liked going to those as much because they were always really busy and the lobby was always full of, well, sick people. And then in recent years, we have gotten a lot of other ones. It's to 175 Myles Garrett in the Browns, including this little one that I go to now. It's actually in the same building that my regular family doctor's in, just down there on that first floor. It's to 149 Eric Ebron. And I've never had to wait in there. Anytime I've ever gone in, they just take you right in. You're in and out, and it's done. And insurance pays it the same as they pay going upstairs to the family doctor. Except this one is, you know, nighttime and after hours. But numbered to 75, it's Joe Flacco and the Broncos. Yes, Jody, it is one silver prism per box is how they come out in prism football. I knocked into my stuff, didn't I? Sorry. I didn't realize I had knocked into it, made it a little crooked. Yeah, one silver prism per box. Drew Lock and the Denver Broncos. Autograph making Denver happy. They used to do a lot more in football, silver prism wise. They would always do fewer in basketball, where you might find one a box, but you would find, for a long time, you might find 2, 3, 4 in prism football. And then in recent years, they've cut it back, and this year is just one per box. And I assume that's because there was always such a valuation difference. You know, a silver prism in basketball, in some cases, is worth more than the autograph. You really almost want it the most, but it was never that way in football. To 249, the Texans. So I think that's part of the reason they cut them down to the one per box. I think they're trying to boost the silver prism value in football. At least that's my theory. To 175, Myles Gaskin for the Dolphins. So I do think that, and I think that's a good idea. I don't want to see, if you're only going to see roughly one per box in basketball, I always thought it was kind of silly that you might see 2, 3, 4 or more out in football. It just didn't make sense. They should kind of correlate. Another redemption. So now we have 2 redemptions and 2 250 points cards setting up in our housekeeping area. We're going to have lots of fun little tasks to keep us busy, aren't we? Matt Lacrosse for the Patriots is our autograph. Last autograph out of the next to last box. Now we are headed right into box number 12 of 12. All right, so it's last box mojo time. We got to fire it up here, guys and gals. Fire up our collective mojo. Let's hope for some really nice hits. All right, let's pull together and make it work. Well, Jody, I don't know how they are these days with, again, silver prism in football. You'll have to double check. I'm saying in basketball, the silver prism is often the more desirable card, but it would also depend on all the factors. So let's say you pulled a base autograph in basketball of Zion Williamson on just a non-numbered, non-prism, but you had a silver prism Zion. Probably they might not be. Zion is such a superstar that value might not be the same, but might be close to 99 Randall Cobb. Then you take some of your other players that maybe aren't the superstar level in basketball, and a base autograph, not a prism, but just a base autograph versus a silver prism. The silver prism would often be the more desirable of the two. But again, that's basketball, which is different. Travis Homer to 199 Seahawks. And even though the football values on silver prisms should be going up based on these changes, I don't think they're near where they are for basketball yet. In my opinion, anyway. So it just depends. It depends on a lot of factors. What type of autograph it is and which player it is and all that. It's $175 for the Saints. But for your guy, I would say, I mean, Josh Jacobs, he's pretty hot right now, so his autographs are probably worth more than his silver prisms. I would think. Just a guess. Marquise Hollywood Brown. No, Marquise Blair. I saw Marquise and just went right to Hollywood Brown. Let's try that again. Marquise Blair, silver prism for the Seahawks. To $249, that would be Jalen Smith for the boys. Got to get those Cowboys. Thomas, the breaks are all listed on eBay. And it looks like Jay Allen has already helped me out there and typed that in along with my eBay username. So yeah, do you use eBay, Thomas? Are you familiar with how it works and everything? If you are, the easiest way to find it is probably to go to search and then you hit advanced search and then search by seller and type in my seller username, which Jay Allen very handily typed in there for us, which is Fleaburger. I know, it's weird, I know. It's to $175 Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. And then it should bring up all of my listings. And now some of you tell me it's easier to find them once you find them the first time. If you like save me as a seller, then I think there's another easier way to get to them. But one of those guys would probably have to tell you how. To $149, the Rams. Stang Lover, you want Rams and Bucks autographs. All right. Mojo request entered. We'll see if the Mojo answers the call. If it heeds the call. Jamal Williams, Packers, to $249. Then we've got a Titan, A.J. Brown. Tennessee. I think Tennessee kind of quietly has had a pretty decent night. Haven't they? I think they have. That's how I'm feeling about it anyway. All right, Robert and Jay Allen, you both say it's easier once it's a save seller, that finding the auctions is easier that way. Okay, I thought I remembered you guys telling me that was the easiest way to do it, but... Is it just 2 for Tennessee? I thought it was more than that. Well, either way, I think Tennessee's been doing all right. Maybe there were a lot more inserts or things, because it seems like I've said Tennessee more than that. To $199, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside for the Eagles. Then number 249 is Jason Witten and the Cowboys. Thomas, the other thing I can tell you as well, if you don't use eBay for some reason, is that there are sometimes spots you can buy at the start of the break, because sometimes I have stuff that even though it sells on eBay, it doesn't get paid, and then I'll offer those up at the start of the break. You know, you can just buy them directly. So sometimes you can get stuff that way, but it doesn't always happen that way. So if you wanted to be guaranteed to know for sure, why do I keep hitting that? Then yeah, you would want to go the eBay route. A third points card. Man, those 2 redemptions better be somebody really good. We pulled 3 points cards out of here already. Jermaine Pratt and the Bengals. And that looks like our last live autograph tonight. Of course, we do have the redemptions. So here's what is about to happen. We will flip over those redemptions, then go to the Panini website, get them all checked up and verified. After we do that, we will give out our rewards points using random.org. After we do that, we are going to recap our autographs, our base silver prisms, and our lower numbered hits. And by lower numbered, I mean 49 or lower, because as you saw, there's a ton of numbered stuff in this particular product. So we're not going to recap it all. We'd be here all night, but some of it. Hey, Jody. Well, I hear you, man. But listen, you came in and paid it, and that's the important part, and I appreciate it. So, you know, I was sweating it out, too, because we got like a lot of unpaid stuff tonight in football and basketball. Well, see, I said Marquise Hollywood Brown earlier. Well, now we really do have him. Rookie autograph Prizm Red Wave. And, of course, Hollywood Brown is a Raven. I would expect that it'll be numbered to 149 like the other Red Waves, but we will check it out at the Panini website here in a hot second. And our other one is Curtis Martin, Flashback Autographs, Prizm Purple Power. That is a mouthful, isn't it? Prizm Purple Power. And isn't Curtis Martin, is he a Jet? I don't know. We're going to go find out, though. We're going to check it out right now, except it would be helpful if I brought you along with me, wouldn't it? I can check it out, but if you can't see it, it doesn't help, does it? So we'll just get it all loaded up here and see what's what. So there were 2 flashbacks in here, though. So to your point about whether or not there were more than one, there are, in fact, yeah, 2, apparently. All right, rookie autographs, Prizm Red Wave is where we're headed first. Card number 341 should be Marquise Brown. And there he is, Ravens as we expected, and numbered to 149 pretty much again as we expected, but now that's all signed, sealed, and delivered. Next up, we are headed to Flashback Autographs, Prizm Purple Power. All right. Flashback Autographs, Prizm Purple Power. Card number 1. It's going to be easy to find. Curtis Martin. Oh, he's Patriot. Why did I think Curtis Martin and the Jets? I'm thinking about a different Curtis Martin, aren't I? Anyway, it's numbered to 25, and it's the Patriots. You guys were probably saying that in chat while I was doing that, weren't you? Probably everybody's typing in there, hey, dummy, it's Patriots. Well, sorry. Yeah, see, somebody did. They didn't call me dummy, but yeah, somebody did. All right, we now have these 3 rewards points to give out. I didn't switch the view back, did I? You're still looking at the other thing. Mercy. That's what happens when you get medicated. Legally medicated. Got it from the pharmacy. All right, so 250, 250, and 400 points. We're going to use random.org to give these out because we have 10 or more items in our little list tonight. We're going to do random just one single time. It's going to be pretty easy the way we roll through this. I'm going to come over here and copy all of the teams from the spreadsheet. Then we'll roll over to good old random.org where I'm going to paste them in. Once they're pasted in, I will scroll through so you can see that all 32 teams are in there. And again, just because we have more than 10 items in our list, we will do random one single time. And here's how it will work. The team that is in the number 1 position after I randomize will get the 400 points card. The team in the 2nd position gets 250 points. The team in the 3rd position gets 250 points. So good luck, everybody. All right, so the Lions, Detroit Lions, are going to get the 400 points. 250 points goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. And 250 points goes to the Saints. All right, so that's how that shakes out tonight. Let's get back over here and do a little recapping, shall we? All right, so first silver prisms, and I put this in there because I think there's only one of these per case. It's Illumination, as the card said. It is a Prizm, and it's Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. It's unnumbered, but again, I don't think these are super common, so I set it out separately. All right. And then we've got Marquise Blair for the Seahawks. Again, these are just our silver prisms. Sammy Watkins for the Chiefs. Darnell Savage is the Packers. Drew Lock for the Broncos. Ty Johnson, Lions. Travis Homer, Seahawks. Marcel Aitman, Raiders. Dalvin Cook, Vikings. Jay Sternberger, Packers. Jason Pierre-Paul, Buccaneers. TJ Hawkinson, Lions, and Keenan Allen for the Chargers. Our lower numbered cards that don't have autographs attached. We only had one in here that was numbered to 10. It goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's Ronald Jones. We have a few camos. Julian Edelman to 25 for the Patriots. Kirk Cousins to 25 for the Vikings. Damian Harris, 25 for the Patriots, and Chris Carson to 25 for the Seahawks. All of the next ones are numbered to 49. A.J. Green and the Bengals. Followed by Pat Tillman and the Arizona Cardinals. Brett Rypien for the Broncos. Alvin Kamara for the Saints. Next is Clowney for the Texans. Witten for the Cowboys, and Cohen for the Bears. Okay. So Jody says the Illumination one that I said didn't come out very often, that the odds are actually 1 in every 5 cases. So that's a little more rare than I thought. So there we go. All right. I like that. That's better than expected. Oh, Curtis Martin did play for Jets. Okay, so he played for the Jets and the Patriots. All right, I had him in my head as Jets, and then he came out Patriots, and I was like, oh, well, must be thinking about the different guy. This is the same guy. I wasn't totally crazy. All right, 400 points went to the Lions, 250 to the Saints, 250 to the Chiefs. That's all done by random.org. The Patriots have the Curtis Martin autograph numbered to 25 on a redemption, and the Ravens have Marquise Hollywood Brown to 149 on a redemption. The autographs that were live in here, the Bengals and Jermaine Pratt, A.J. Brown for the Titans, Matt Matt for the Patriots, Lacassi, or whatever it is, Drew Lock and the Broncos. Followed by Kelvin Harmon for the Redskins and Karen Higdon for the Texans. Dwayne Haskins to 99 for the Redskins. We'll flip that one over. Alex Barnes, that's to 75. We'll flip him over too because that's fairly low for the Titans. And then the Giants, numbered to 99 is Julian Love. Our case hit, CRPA for the Kansas City Chiefs, it's Mecole Hardman Jr., numbered to 10. Then we have Ty Johnson for the Lions, numbered to 75, little Jordan Humphrey and the Saints, to 75, Trayvon Williams and the Bengals. There's another Dwayne Haskins, that one is unnumbered. That's headed to the Redskins to 25. You've got Tony Pollard for the boys. Devin Bush for the Pittsburgh Steelers. DeAndre Baker, New York Giants. Easton Stick for the Chargers. Julian Love for the Giants. Numbered to 49, that is Miles Boykin and the Ravens. Ryan Finley for the Bengals. Darius Slayton in the New York Giants. Arizona Cardinals have Zach Allen. There's a flashback, Rocky Bleier for my Pittsburgh Steelers, numbered to 99. Love that card. Raquel Armstead, Jags, numbered to 149. Paris Campbell and the Colts. Justice Hill and the Ravens, numbered to 99. Jonathan Abram and the Raiders. Numbered to 75, Bryce Love, Redskins, to 75, Trace McSorley and the Ravens. And we got it started tonight with Mike Wilson Mac Wilson and the Browns sensational signatures. I don't know why I said Mike. I don't know. I don't know. It happens sometimes. Oh, Nicholas, I usually flip over some of the ones that are numbered, and then sometimes if I get in the habit, I just flip them all over even when I don't mean to. But the others, when we're recapping, I usually try to flip over the ones that are lower numbered, like 99 or lower if they're autographed, and then I don't usually flip over the unnumbered ones. But as I said, sometimes once I get on a roll of flipping them over, I just, without even thinking about it, I start flipping them all over. So, yeah, that's why. That is why. Yeah. So, no, I don't flip them over. I mean, I flip them over when we go through the break if they're low numbered because you might want to see the number. But the high numbered ones, I usually don't pass the first box because we know what they're going to be. Like every orange one is going to be to 249. Every blue wave is going to be to 199. And there are so many of them that if you flip each one of them over going through the break, believe it or not, cumulatively, that adds up. It would add probably 10 or 15 minutes to the break. As ridiculous as that sounds, it would. What I do when I'm sorting them, when we're going through them live, is I try to kind of sort out the numbered stuff separately and not stack it with the base. That might be what you're talking about. Because then if there is a question, like if somebody says, oh, hey, I just heard you mention, whatever, Rocky Blyer, but I didn't see it. What was it numbered to? And if I've stacked it in there with the base, and it's because there's a delay in chat, it's probably been a few minutes since I did it, I would have no idea. And then I'd have to go search it out and find it. So as a result, when we do a product like this that has a ton of stuff that is numbered in it, I try to stack it separately off to the side from the base so that I can more easily locate it if I need to, if there's a question about what something's numbered to or whatever. So that might be what you were asking. But if not, if you were asking something else and I didn't understand it, then feel free to hit me up and ask me again, because goodness knows I don't always catch it on the first time. All right, so if you missed this earlier, here's the 411. Should be on the way roughly Thursday. If I can get it sent out to you sooner than Thursday, I will gladly do so. As it stands right now, that's my best guess as to when you can expect it to actually head out the door and on the way to you. Every team pulled cards in Prizm, so nobody's going to have to worry about consolation cards in this particular break. If, however, you got skunked in Flawless Collegiate Basketball, which was our first break of the night, you can still expect to get a package in the mail, and it will have your consolation card or cards in it. They will ship out when the rest of the break ships, since it is a paid shipping break. Now, taking a look at what's coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, we're Immaculate Football, Bowman Chrome Jumbo, also known as HTA Baseball, Certified Basketball, all by the full case. On Tuesday, it's going to be a lot of memorabilia and a little bit of cards. TriStar Hidden Treasures Autograph Football, an actual football, followed by a 3-box case of Leaf Autograph full-size football helmets, a 5-box half case of Leaf Autograph football jerseys, and a 12-box case of high-tech baseball. Wednesday, new release day, will start at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We're going to bust into a half case of Flawless Baseball and an 8-box inner case of Playbook Football. On Thursday night, we'll be breaking Prizm again, just like we did tonight. On Friday night, we'll start 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We're going to bust into a half case of Hoops Basketball. For Hoops, the veteran base doesn't ship to the teams. It has a separate bidding category, and you can find all the information about that in the listing description. All right, Nicholas, cool. All right, so I did understand your question. Good. Like sometimes, you know what? Sometimes I glance over there and I see something and I'll answer it, and then somebody will be like, no, that's not at all what I asked, and I'll reread it and I'll be like, oh yeah, now I get it. Sometimes my brain kind of goes into neutral when I'm multitasking. Fortunately, not often, but occasionally. Trevor, you were asking about in the Flawless break, was there any Zion Williamson? Yes, there was, as a matter of fact, in Flawless Collegiate. There sure was. That was the back half of the case, and it was a nice one. There was actually some really good stuff in it. I was real happy for it, but all the things that came out of it. All right, so that is it for me tonight. Thank you, everybody. Always appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, and hanging out with me. So if I do not see you again tomorrow night, I hope I will see you again soon. In the meantime, enjoy your week ahead, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. Bye now.